infinite and we are what? Finite. In other words, we can go a certain distance and then we have to stop. But God goes on what?
Forever.
From ever. And so we look at so there's certain things they had no control over. This was one of them, but they felt like if their friend was there, their friend and you know when you have a friend that's in a high place or a friend that has a lot of power, you look for them. Can you imagine when your favorite supervisor retired? Your go-to person, and then they retire, and then you have a little problem. So I know I'll go down the hall. Oh man, they're not here. They're not here anymore. And so you find yourself that you'll find a way to maybe contact them and I've done that in the past. I've contacted somebody that used to be my person that answered my question and I contact them and they say, well, I'm not there no more. You gotta do what? You're on your own. You gotta figure this thing out. But they knew that they couldn't do anything about this because within all their power, they could not bring the brother back. So they come to Jesus. Jesus come on the scene. He goes to the grave and he's sad because his friend is dead. And he said this was a cave and a stone was laid upon it. Now just imagine, I don't know if you've seen pictures of tombs. It's just a hole cut in the mountain. Then they roll a big rock up in front of it. And if you don't seal that thing, what's gonna happen? Yeah, you got to throw some lime or something on that thing because it's going to be smelling good in there, reeking there. So they went to there and he went to the grave and saw the stone upon it. And Jesus told them, take the stone away. What was their reply?
They said that if they did, it would stink. It's been dead 4 days. 4 days.
That man stink. That man done rotted up in there. You know, that's my brother. But Lord, we don't bring him out here stinking. He's out there dead. And see, and the thing about, let's apply this back to the lives, our lives. When we live in sin, what happens to your life?
It stinks.
You stinks. You like stagnant water. Anything stagnant does what?
Stinks.
Pour some water up in a puddle in the ground, clean pure water. And let it stand there, some leaves fall in, a little dirt get in, and if it doesn't evaporate, you step in and your shoes stink. And so we look because, and when we began to step away from Jesus, our life becomes like those in the grave. We stink. And we begin to smell and reek with sin, and we find that we're no good for no. And then when you sin like that, people don't want to what?
Be around you.
They don't want to be around you. And we find that now the people that we need to be close to are distant from us. And even the people that we hang with, you begin to stink. So, matter of fact, if you take a child molester and put him in a prison, all those other prisons are going to do what?
Shun away from him.
Oh, we don't let, kill him? They do not let like child, even though they stink, they saying that you really reek. You smell. So we find that in our life that when we do this, not only do we stink, nobody wants to have anything to do with us. And they'll separate themselves from us. And so Jesus came and said, he's stinking now. He's been in the grave for 4 days. Oh, no, we don't want to be around that person no more. They've been out there in sin. They've been wallowing in the mud and the dirt. They come in here, they reek and smelling like alcohol. And they stink because they hadn't had a bath. The hair's all nappy and they look horrible. We won't have nothing to do with them no more. They stink. They're dead. They stink. But Jesus didn't say that, did he? Jesus looked and said, you know what? The matter of fact, the more stinking you are, the more like Jesus want to do what? He want to clean you up. He want to do something for you. So Jesus said, I would have, he said in verse 40, Jesus said unto her, said, I not unto thee that thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God. Jesus let him know, I don't care how dirty and stinking you are, I can do what? I can fix you. I can fix you. You mess around and I'm gonna talk about Cassandra now. I'm gonna talk about him. Y'all gonna laugh at me. I'm gonna talk about Cassandra now. And I do have a knack for a little fixing. I can fix a few things. And so far, I'm going somewhere on a hunting trip, and I'm way down. I'm gonna be gone for a day or two because she ain't gonna let me stay too long. Anyway, I'm gonna stay 2 or 3 weeks, and something in the house that normally if it mess up, I fix, and it breaks. What does she want then? She wanted to fix it. She wants you. And then I have told her, and I said, Cassandra, this is broken. And if it breaks, this is what you need to do to fix it. But because I'm there, is she gonna pay that much attention?
No.
Probably not. Because she know when it breaks, she can do what? Just come in and get it. But now I'm not around. And so she calls me and said, Billy, the wash machine is broken. I said, baby, I told you before I left what you need to do to fix it. That's what Jesus said right here in verse 40. Didn't I tell you that if you will believe, everything will be all right? Baby, I told you it may shake for a little while. Put the dial over this way and put a piece of paper up under the leg and it won't bounce. And I told you it'll be all right. And so we find that sometimes when the one that's been doing things for us is not on the scene anymore, it puts us in a distraught situation. Put us in a distraught situation. So Jesus said unto her, said I not unto thee, that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldst see the glory of God? Jesus let her know, I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're going through. If you believe, you will see what? The glory of God. How many times, and the Radio Angels made the song, how many times can I have to prove how much I love you? Y'all heard the song by the Radio Angels? How many times? And no matter, we go over and over again into something, and God had to keep on telling you, worrying about this, you fretting about it. How many times have I told you? Just how many times I got to tell you how much I love you? Right. And because I love you, I'll fix your problems. Thank you. But I'm not going to fix those problems like you want me to fix it. I'm going to fix them how?
Like he wants to fix it.
Like he wants to fix them. And if it's fixed that way, it's fixed the way it should be. A lot of times we get upset with God because when God he fixed something, he doesn't fix it like we want it, does it? But it's fixed. So he said, but if you believe, you should see the glory of God. So he letting them know now, and then now, did this register with these two ladies? Not really. It didn't register, right?
Because they knew that they was not going to see their brother alive again.
Jesus, you talking some funny stuff now. You know, you talking some funny stuff here. If we believe, we you see the glory of God. And so they took away the stone. They rolled it, and just imagine now this big stone. The problem had to be some other people that were those stones were big and heavy. And so they rolled the stone from its place where the dead lay, and Jesus lifted his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. What's so significant about that verse? The verse of 41. The last part of 41 especially, which I call 41b. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. What's so significant about that?
That Jesus had sent up a prayer to his Father.
A little different there. That's close. I tell you, Jesus thanked God before the miracle was even performed. Ain't nothing happened yet. Lazarus still laying in the dead. It's like when we pray, we say, God, thank you for what you've done. But then what's the next line we pray? Y'all know how we pray. Y'all know how black folks pray. Lord, thank you for what you've done, but thank you for what you're going to do. That's faith. That's faith, and I believe we black folks ain't the only one pray that prayer. Right. People that believe in God pray that prayer. God, I thank you for what you have done, but I thank you for what you're going to do. Jesus began to thank his Father for the answer even before the question. He said right here, now God, he lifted his eyes and said, Lord, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. In other words, if he heard you, why is it significant that he heard Jesus? Now, y'all to know this because you hear me quote it all the time. And this is the confidence we have in him. That if we ask anything according to his will, we know that he what? We know that he hears us. And if we know that he hears us, we know we have the petitions we desire of him. Yes. Jesus is so confident that he asked God for to fix something, and before God even answered him, he thanked God for the answer because he knew the answer. In other words, when we talk to God and we ask God to do something, we don't need to ask God that we do something and then begin to doubt. We need to ask him doing what? What did James say? He said, if you ask and you don't believe, you're like the wave of a sea Say you ask, but you ask amiss. In other words, he's saying you asking, but you don't believe. If you believe what you ask for, you won't be wandering around trying to run around trying to fix it yourself. You gave it to Jesus, and where it needs to stay.
With him.
Jesus. And Jesus will let you know when you need to take an action, and he may tell you, ask him to fix this certain thing for you, and it doesn't get fixed, and he said, just believe me. Now the next day he may tell you, instruct you to go do something, right? You don't say, no, Jesus, I believe in you, I'm just sitting here and believe in you. That's not what he wants us to do. But when he instructs us, he wants us to go and do what he said. That is belief, right? So when I tell Cassandra, that washing machine is not so broken it won't work, this is what you need to do. If she looks and says, well, you crazy, it's not going to work. What's going to happen? It's not going to work.
It's not, yeah.
But if she take it and listen to me and go in and at least try it, and then it begin to work, then she have what? She have more confidence in me. But who better than that? Who's confidence? What else you have confidence in? In Jesus,
Jesus.
but outside of Jesus.
Herself.
She believes in herself now. I can do something. Why is that important? Because what did Paul say? I can do what?
All things.
Through Christ who strengthens me. So now, not only does she gain more belief in me, she believes now that through the power of God that she can do
it too.
whether I'm there or not. This is what he's trying to tell us here. So he began to thank God even before he performed the miracle. And then he said, I knew that thou hearest me always. Anybody just say, I know you hear me always, but because of the people, listen here, sometimes if I come to you and I tell you that God has told me he's going to do something, it's not based on me. It's based on me, the belief I have in God. And if I know God hear me, I believe that he'll do what he said he'll do. And so sometimes God may give me a revelation and may give you a revelation. Say, God's going to do this. And you're not doing it. Paul said, follow me because what? I follow Christ. So it's not about me. It's not about for you to go back and say, Billy did this, or go say that Irma Lawrence did this. It's not about that. It's about that God did this. He used a servant to do it.
That's right.
Doctor ain't never healed you. Has he?
No.
But through the power God gave and the knowledge God gave him, healing came through God, but he was a conduit. He was a vessel. He was a tool for that healing. So he said, I knew you hear me, Lord. In other words, I'm not thanking you because I want you to think I don't hear you. I'm thanking you because I know you hear me. And because I know you hear me, these people that are around me,
and that are looking on.
Now they're going to what?
Believe.
Now they're going to believe. In other words,
that he was sent by him.
Sit back. So significant in so many places in the Bible. Jesus went to heal people, and I told somebody this. I don't know why I used this about the Wizard of Oz. What else I talked about that? I talked to somebody the other day, and I was telling them. I said, now in the story of the Wizard of Oz, who had the power to get back to Kansas?
Dorothy.
She had it all the time, didn't she?
She didn't know it.
She didn't know it. And the reason Glinda didn't tell her what to do to get back from the beginning was what? She had to do what?
She had to do it on her
She had
own.
to learn it for herself. And all she had to do was click over. I think we was talking about that with teasing Cassandra about the ruby slippers.
Ruby red slippers.
Yeah, we were teasing Cassandra about the ruby shoes. And so he said, Lord, I'm not doing this because I have any doubt in you. I'm doing this so that people. You remember the story about the man that was sitting by the road blind? Mm-hmm. And the disciples looked at the Lord. Who's saying? Him or his parents? And what did Jesus say? Jesus said, neither one of them saying. But he's blind so you can see the power I have. Open your eyes and see. See, sometimes Jesus had to use some things to open our eyes and let us know that Jesus has the power. And so sometimes these things that we have doubt in and God wants to fix, and he said that I'm not taking it to God because the same power God have, who had? I have the same power because we're one, we're same. And so, but I'm doing it so that people will believe. So in other words, if you find that a lot of times you find these big time, I'm just saying, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm gonna say it. Some of the big time money preachers, and they go into a big audience, ask everybody to give money. What would they do? What would they go in the pocket and do?
Start out with change.
No.
They start off with $100 bill.
But let's start like this. Sister Lawrence, Lord want to bless you. Here's $100. So someone want to bless you. Here's $100. And what everybody else gonna think now? The Lord gonna bless you. I just gave you $100. What did everybody else gonna think?
He gonna bless
The dog gonna give them $100 too.
He only gave 2 of them in there.
They don't know that after this facade, that y'all coming back in the office. What y'all gonna do?
Give him back.
Give me my $100 back. And I've seen this happen. And so sometimes, but it's to make the people believe you already know because you know you've been with me, you've been following me all around the country. But it's to make the other people, and people start going in their pockets. What they doing?
Taking out 100.
Taking out just feeding them.
That's being deceitful.
Being deceitful.
And some don't even have it to give. They taking the last dollar
That's right.
and put it in
And
there.
then
Because
he
he
pay
said,
that electric bill.
Boy, did I learn that the hard way.
Yeah, but then again,
Ooh, Jesus, have mercy.
we have to find out, we have to believe that Jesus doesn't operate like this. If he said he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. And what happen a lot of times is people which have little faith will cause people with a trying to get their faith to do what?
to doubt.
To doubt. I've been praying to God for a new car. Look what I got. That thing right there don't have it. I've been praying to God for 16 years, and that car right there, 18 years old. And and then you begin to say, well, ain't need for me to keep praying for no car. You just did what?
You just
Scratched your blessing. So Jesus want to know. Sometimes God will bless you to let the other people know the what? That they can be blessed too. So we need to understand that. But we need to know when you into that situation where your life is falling apart and somebody begin to doubt because you say, oh no. God gonna still do what? He's gonna bless you. He's still gonna work it out. And so that's what we have to tell them. So he did this so they would believe. He had to ensure to Martha and Mary, his friends, that whatever I say will come to pass. I said everything will be all right, everything bad. Then he said he thus spoke, he cried out with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. Here he is now. Jesus has done what? What Jesus do right here? He gave the command. He gave the command. He didn't go, if you notice this, never did Jesus go into the tomb to see where Lazarus was. He didn't go in there to see if it was stinking. He didn't peep in there to see what was going on. Jesus stood on the outside and did what? Gave the command.
It didn't say a soft voice. A
Loud voice. Lazarus, come forth. And so when we understand that sometimes God is calling out to us and God is saying, I wish you would come to me. What's he saying? Come to me. And sometimes his voice is so, it may not be that, but the Bible tried to describe his voice as thunder. Now you're gonna allow a thunderstorm. You could be asleep, and what happened?
You gonna wake up?
It'll wake you up. It'll get your attention. This is the kind of voice I think he called Lazarus, and he didn't just do it because he was trying to make Lazarus hear him. Who he trying to make hear him?
Everybody else said it wrong.
All those other people. I want you to hear me. I'm not asking Lazarus. He didn't ask Lazarus to come forth, did he?
No.
He told him to come
He
forth.
told him to come forth. And so he's telling us that Lazarus come forth, and he said, he that was dead, we told Lazarus, he was dead, came forth with his hands still bound, his feet still, got his feet bound, he still came.
If people didn't believe then that was there, something wrong.
I know, right?
Face covered up. If your face covered up, what's covered up?
His eyes.
Your eyes. Got a napkin on his face, hands tied up, feet tied up. And he came out there. Came out there just like Jesus said.
Yes, it did.
I can imagine Jesus been like, if we were like Jesus, what would we say right then? What would I have told Martha? If that was me, what you think I would have told Martha and Mary? Something an animal. What do you think I told them that? Told you so. Told you so.
You didn't believe, but
You
I
didn't
told
believe me,
you.
but I told you so. Did Jesus say that?
No, he did not.
He didn't say I told you so. Sometimes we go through life and we're not sure what we believe. We follow the Lord and we do things that we think God told us to do. And then maybe y'all haven't been there. You ever had a problem in your life and you prayed about it, and God didn't move fast enough for you, so you just went and
Did it
you
yourself?
thought to fix it anyway,
Mess it up.
messed it all up, and then you got upset with yourself now because you messed it up, and then it stays messed up for a while, and then God come through and fix it. How you feel?
Feel good, but
You feel good, but like I said,
I should've waited.
should have waited, should have trusted Him, and you begin. But you feel good. Go ahead and finish.
I was gonna say, not only do we get mad with ourselves when we mess up, but we get mad with God too, because it was like, God, why you let me do this?
But he said, wait. I said, wait on the Lord.
Mhm.
But we want to get in a hurry.
And that gives us another reason why we shouldn't get mad. Why we shouldn't get mad with it, because but we do. We get mad with Him. We get mad with the situation.
Yes.
But the thing is that when we look at this, we as God's children, right here now, I hope none of us are physically dead, because it's so interesting that we look at in your movie, that movie you look at, zombie people, whatever that is.
I'm leaving y'all behind. I'm gone. I'm just saying.
We sitting here living in this world. Every one of us can get up, walk around, talk, see, smell. Can't do all of that. You can do some of it. Breathe. If you ain't breathing, you ain't here. And yet we sit right here and we are living, but we're still dead because we are bound. We're bound with our hands. And listen to your hands. If somebody tie your hands up, you ever try to run with your hands tied up?
It's not easy.
It's not easy. You need to use those hands to kind of pump your weight. You ever try to run with ankle chains on, and you got like them guys on TV? And not only that, you're bound with sin, and it binds your hand, it binds your feet. But what else was bound from this guy?
Well,
His eyes was covered.
His eyes was covered.
He couldn't see where to go. His eyes were covered. That's what sin would do to you. It will blind you. And this is just three of the things. But this man was bound. He was bound by his hands, bound by his feet, eyes covered up, and he was just totally gone. And we have gotten so lost in the world of sin sometimes that we are totally lost. We can't find our way, and if we could find our way, we can't walk fast enough to get there, and if we get there, our hands are tied. How are you going to get inside? You're down. And Jesus realized that this lesson to him is not so much about bringing Lazarus from the dead, because he knew all the time that was going to happen. It was about the people that believed in him, that he had all power in his hand. So he looked and he told him, Jesus said unto them, loose him and let him go. If you want your life to change, what do you got to loose in your life? That's the things in your life you got to let loose. Jesus said, loose him and let him go. All the stuff that kept him dead is gone now. All the stuff that held him back is gone now. The thing that we have to be careful about, that when we are loosed, it doesn't mean that we can go out here and do anything we want to do now. You've been loosed from the world of sin. You've been loosed from bondage. You've been loosed from debt. What's the problem being loosed from debt with most people? What's the big problem about most people being loosed from debt? I said, what's the problem with being free? And no problem. They go back and get in debt again.
Oh, that's right.
That's the problem. Jesus freed you from debt, and you be able to pay off. Matter of fact, I heard say, I'm debt free. And then you see them about 2 weeks and then they try to brand new car. You get that car. Oh, I went to God, I ain't got no debt. Well, you got something now?
Did you pay for it cash? No.
You have something now?
Yeah.
So we find ourselves when we are loose, he said, loose and let him go, but we cannot go back into what got us there from the start. The man said yesterday, and I wrote it down. I wish I had my pad with me. I think I got it somewhere. But he made this quote. He said, if you do the same thing to get out of trouble that got you in trouble, you ain't going nowhere. You follow that? If you do the same thing to get out of trouble that got you in trouble, you will still be what?
In trouble.
In trouble. You cannot use this. In other words, if I go down a path and I manipulate all these holes and stumps and briars, and I cut my face up, and I step in the hole and sprain my ankle, and I'm all beat up, and I can't walk anyway. I'm old anyway, so and I can't get it. And then I realize I get into the woods, and I'm there and say, look, ain't nowhere to go. It'd be crazy to go back the same way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right.
It'd be crazy to go back the same way, but so many times that's what we do. We end up going right back into the situation. Use the same path that got us in trouble, or the path that got us in trouble. And so, use the same path to get out of trouble, and that's a problem. So he looked at it and said, loose him, and let him go. And so, right, without going into the Bible, they loosed Lazarus, and we understand, we know that with Lazarus, the only thing with Lazarus, resurrection is what? What's the main thing about Lazarus' resurrection different? Because Lazarus is not the only one that came from the dead. Did Jesus brought from the dead, is it? Peter did that too, didn't he? What happened to him?
They died again.
They died again. They died again. So even when Jesus lifted him up, his life wasn't going to be there forever. One life that died is going to be here forever, and that's who? That's Jesus. Because he died, and he was resurrected, and he's there to live forever. But what he letting us know that that in our life, in our dead situation, in our situation that makes our life look like it's nothing, Jesus let us know just by speaking the word, he can speak life back into you. We need to understand no matter where we are, Jesus can speak life back into us. So those things that have really held us back from whatever, doing the things that God has let us know, I can sometimes we want to do what God do, but God wants you to be able to do some things you want to do. Because he said in Psalms 37:4, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he will do what? Give you the desires of who heart?
Your heart.
So God will give you some of the things you want, but you need to make sure your wants is what? It's in accordance with God's will. See, sometimes our wants is way out of God's will. Because he said, delight thyself also in the Lord, then he give you the desire of your heart. But when you start desiring something outside, in other words, God give you a job making $18 an hour. And you say, Lord, the desire of my heart is to have a Cadillac. Well, you can go get a Cadillac from $30,000 to $90,000. Now, you make $18 an hour, which one should you buy?
The
The one
30.
for 30,000. Come on, guys. It's not. It don't take a brain surgeon.
You got one
go
less
buy
than
yourself
that.
a $90,000 Cadillac.
Can't pay for that.
You don't make enough money to pay for that.
Mm-mm.
And then you go and say, God, you told me to go. I give desire of my heart. God said, I said you get a Cadillac. You had to go buy the highest one out there.
They're going to repo it before you can even drive it a month.
Exactly.
Get the thing.
You get the 30-day tags and they repoing it.
And then so you get home and park in the driveway, and the next day it's gone.
Yes, sir.
You ain't had a chance to make a payment yet. In other words, God's give you desires, but we need to make sure our desires is in accordance with God's will. Simple thing to that is, God, bless me, but let your will be done. And then if it's meant for you to get that $90,000 Cadillac, he'll also give you that, but he'll give you what along with it?
Promotion, raises.
The means to pay for it. I thought about this, and I told Cassandra the time, we talked about this a lot, when we asked God about the house we in, we prayed, like I said, we prayed. And we prayed, we did, we prayed before we moved in the house. We moved in the house, but you know what one thing that I didn't pray for, I don't know what she did. You know what I didn't pray for? I didn't pray for a riding lawnmower. I didn't pray for
You didn't pay for the accessories.
a 15-foot ladder to help me change the lights in the kitchen or the cathedral ceiling. We didn't pray for the things to help us keep it up. So we prayed for the house. God said, what you pray for? We need to pray. We need to God, when we pray, God give us the means to maintain it. Then God will do that. That's when He'll give you the promotion, things to go with it. If He didn't, then maybe He didn't mean for you to have it. So we need to understand that God has promises for us. He's going to give us what we want, but we need to make sure our wants is in accordance with God's will. And then if it's in God's will, we may end up starting with that $30,000 Cadillac. I don't know which one is that, but the BMW probably, you got a BMW 750E, the 850E. You get that 850E, I'm going to tell you something, you better have some chunks in your pocket. And that thing probably costs about $130,000. But you can go buy a BMW for a whole lot less than $130,000. So we make sure that when we ask God for something, that even if it's something we want, we need to keep it in perspective of His will. And if we ask that, and Mama was Mama. You said, Mama, I'm going going up the street to the store, and I'll be back. She said, if it's God's will. So Mom, I'm just going to this bunch of store right there. I walk. She said, if it's God's will. Okay, Mom, if it's God's will, I go to the store and come back. But she let us know from there, everything you do has to be a what? According to God's will. Because I could have walked out there to that driveway, and what could have happened?
Could have got killed.
Drunk drive could have killed. If it's God's will. And so we need to learn to put that in our vocabulary, that if it's God's will. This is the death and resurrection. Jesus said what? What did Jesus say? I'm what? Say it out loud.
I'm the resurrection.
I'm the resurrection and the life. No man goes to the Father but by me. In other words, he said in Paul in 1 Corinthians 15, he said, "Oh death, where is victory? Oh grave, where is death? Where is your victory? Oh grave, where is it?" Some one way or the other. In other words, Jesus has power over life and death. And so we want to know that Jesus is the resurrection and the life, and He's the only way that we can get back to the Father.
Can I say It's something that you said one time, and it's something in the outline of this lesson that come in with what you said. You were saying one time to the congregation, you said that we can have faith. You said, but we don't, we have to have faith. You said, but we have to also do something. And in the lesson, it brought out similar to what you said, and I thought about what you had said, because when he asked them to move the stone, and he asked them to loosen him, it was things that God could have done. But he asked the people to do that. He allowed you to do the things that you can do, but the things that you cannot do, then he.
That's a very, very valid point, because had they stood and said, he stink, we ain't moving that stone, then locked up on face right there, locked up right there. They got him, when he came out, they said, well, no, we ain't going to damn man take them strings loose. Same thing. Bible said faith without works is dead. In other words, I can't sit here and you come in here and you say, I'm going to bring you something to eat, and I'm sitting over on that stool over there. You say, I can't come in, and you slide that plate into the door right there and say, now you got to come and get it. And I sit in there and pray for the next 5 days. God, let that plate slide over here. I'm gonna be what for 5 days? Hungry. So I have the faith that somebody will bring me something to eat, but to get something to eat, I got to have some work. I got to go in and get it. I got to stop putting it to my mouth. So that's a very, very good point. We can believe, but if we don't take some action, then what we believe in. And this whole thing is right here, right, this the very thing is, because Jesus didn't even have to go to bring Lazarus back, did he?
That's right. He could have been wherever he was. Could just speak it.
Do you remember the centurion that went to Jesus and said that his son was about to die? And he said, well, I'll come and heal him. And what did he tell Jesus? Oh, no, I'm a man under authority. Don't come into my house. And Jesus, well, your faith. Go, your son is okay. He could have done that, couldn't he?
Yeah.